Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan. This is Auto Detour, and today, yes, is another Project Grandpa truck build episode. So on today's build, I obviously have brought in the cavalry. This is Eric's truck from RacingRamFam. This is F600 with the diesel swap in it. If you're interested in that thing and want to see more videos on that, be sure to go check out his channel. He also has a super sick SRT10 Ram that has a big turbo in it, so be sure to go subscribe to his channel and check it out. He's here today helping me again get the exhaust welded up on Project Grandpa truck. So as I mentioned in the past episodes, I had issues with the downpipe fitting, and I think you're going to be super interested in where we're running it now instead of running it over the frame rail. So I'll show you that here in just a second. Having to cut up my newly ceramic coated piping just to make it work, which kind of hurts a little bit, but I think we're just going to wrap it, cover it all up when we're done, and it'll be as good, if not better, than before. So we're gonna jump into that and hopefully work on a few other things in today's episode. So stick around. I appreciate you guys watching. Let's jump right into it. Here we are. We'll walk right past F600. This giant thing makes my wife's full-size SUV, the Armada, look small in comparison to this thing. But let's head into the garage here. Eric and I have already started working on getting the downpipe cut up. So you guys know Eric.
Hi.
What we're doing here, we talked about before, we were trying to run it down here over the frame rail where the kit is supposed to go, and with this engine being higher, it's just not going to happen. It's just, it fits through there, but it's almost like pinched in there, so it's just going to vibrate and on the frame and on the body, and it's just going to tear up the wrap around the pipe, and it's also going to eventually just wear a hole in the side of the downpipe. So that's not a good option. So what we've opted to do here is, I'll grab this piece here, we're actually going to run it right here outside the frame rail, and we'll tuck it up as close as we can right under this body mount. And you can see we have plenty of room alongside the frame rail here to run the exhaust back here. I still haven't decided where it's going to exit yet. May do like a lightning style exit back there in front of the rear tire. May go over the axle and out the back. Not sure yet. Eric's got it tacked up here. We obviously had to cut up this portion of the downpipe. This section is still unmodified. We also had to find the final location for the turbo up here. We actually used the Play-Doh here and stuck it on top of the turbo to check our gap in between the turbo housing and the hood here. So we have about 3/8 of an inch of clearance there. One thing we're gonna have to watch is we are very close to the oil fill tube here. Initially I thought you could unscrew that out of the valve cover, but that fill tube is epoxied into the valve cover and I cannot get it out for the life of me. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on that. If that melts or anything in the future, we're gonna have to maybe upgrade the valve covers, or at least cut that fill tube off and move the oil fill somewhere else. Let's jump right into it.
Compressor housing, we're gonna drill and tap right there, and then we're gonna go vacuum line to the wastegate. So then your wastegate's plumbed right there. Then with the blow-off valve, we're gonna go from here to this top fitting right here. So you're gonna have to get a reducer down to like 3/8 to like 1/4 inch. You're gonna have to get an EGR block off the plate. You're gonna have to get a check valve. So you're gonna have to run rubber hose back there to a check valve to this. Then we're gonna have to connect this with 1/8 inch vacuum line to that one right there. Your IAC one, we're gonna just run a big hose from there to right there. Weld that fitting on right there. That'll be all done. Brake booster is good because it's already got a check valve on it. We are going to take this hose right here. This hose coming from the top of the manifold to this hose right here at the bottom of the PCV. You're gonna have to take this off, fully off, because you're gonna have to get a vacuum cap for right here, and you're gonna have to get a vacuum cap for back there. You're gonna have to throw this thing away. These heater hoses, so this heater hose has to go in the garbage. You're gonna bypass it with this one. So you can go this one straight to this one, so you're gonna have to get a nipple to nipple for this one to this one, but that you won't have to get any hose because you can just stretch that one and hook it up right there. Take the PCV valve out. We're gonna have to drill it out, and then you're gonna have to get a catch can, and then we run both these lines to the catch can from this one and this one, from both your top of your valve covers to the catch can. And we're gonna have to have a breather on top.
that just happened.
That was almost hard. Oops.
We're gonna have a technical timeout. All right, guys, so there it is. All welded up. We're gonna get it covered up in the heat wrap, so you won't see this, but that's a great looking weld that Eric welded up there. And I seem to have lost a band clamp, so I got a wastegate clamp temporarily holding this piece on here. But see, we're going under the body mount here, route the exhaust straight down there, and that's going to be a whole lot better than trying to stuff it through that little tiny hole back here. So we'll get that crossover pipe hooked back up, so we'll be good to go. And then, as you saw earlier, Eric went over all the vacuum lines we gotta hook up. What we're gonna be deleting. We got a lot of lines to connect together. We're getting rid of some stuff that's not necessary. We cut the guts out of my PCV valve on this side, put it back in. So then we'll connect that PCV valve in this side into a catch can.
We got the gas tank out.
Oh yeah. Forgot to mention, Eric helped me drop the gas tank. So the gas tank is out. So we're gonna pull the sending unit out of here. We'll throw in the Walbro 340. We may hop over to Eric's place to do that because he's got the stuff to do it. Because if you follow his channel, you know, he's got all sorts of Frankenstein sending unit going on. We'll probably pop off this unit and go TIG weld on the bung at his place as well while we're at it.
Might steal my blow-off valve.
Might steal his blow-off valve because this is tight.
And the fitting inside of it's spinning.
The fitting inside the blow-off valve is spinning. It shouldn't do that. So that one may be toast. As cool as the red one is,
You might have a black one.
might have to swap it out. Anyway, upcoming videos, we're gonna drop the oil pan, put in the drain line, this drain line here for the oil drain. Got the new AN fitting for the drain line. We'll get the air intake put on. As I mentioned, we're gonna probably route it a little bit differently so that the air filter ends up over here. There is a temperature sensor in the intake that we have to pull out right here. So we'll just get a probably a grommet. I thought it was going to go in this tube, but it may have to be after the turbo for the temperature sensor up here. So we'll figure that out. I'll ask Casey, the tuner, where we should put it, because he knows Fords inside and out. And as you can see, I did get all the wires put up on top of this bracket. It's not the prettiest thing, but usually they're behind. I took the front of the L bracket off. This bracket is usually bolted to the front of the bracket, and then these attach to the back side of it, but this hits the downpipe, so you can't keep it. So I just put all the connectors up on top of this bracket to get them away from the downpipe. So that's good there. The battery's got to go back in. That shouldn't be a big deal. I think everything's out of the way. Once we get the oil drain in, we'll get oil in it. I'm gonna put a big MAF sensor in, the 3000 CFM MAF sensor. We'll get that put in. We're gonna replace the stock one. The tuner says the stock one will max out. We can throw the tire on there. Since the truck is not, it's a four-wheel drive, so there's plenty of clearance.
He goes big tires.
Yeah.
What? Grandpa truck.
It's grandpa truck.
It's not.
Can't go super wide tires on grandpa truck.
Boom.
There we go. Let me grab the light.
You can see if it. Yeah.
So we got a wheel in there. Actually, if you'll hold this, I can go turn the wheel.
You need your key. Is that all the way? Oh, that stupid V-band clamp's touching. Yeah, the V-band clamp's touching.
That's all the way right there.
Yeah. We should have checked that. It's rubbing on the clamp. The clamp wasn't there, it wouldn't hit.
Dang it.
Oh well. It's 9:30 at night.
All right, so
It does rub.
we tried to keep this without cutting it up as much as possible, but it looks like the tire just barely rubs on the
V-band clamp.
V-band
Because
clamp.
it's way wider than the actual pipe, so we try rotating it more too. See if we can get this closer to the frame, loosening this up and rotating it more and see what we can do. It might just need some adjustments. It might be fine, but right now it's rubbing.
Yeah.
So if it keeps rubbing, we'll just cut this section out and just weld straight pipe in.
Yeah, so that's unfortunately that's all part of the fun.
Custom modification.
Yeah, so another thing I guess we should have checked. Anyway, more to come on that.
He doesn't need to turn, he just needs to go straight.
Yeah. Straight and left. No right turns.
Just barely hitting the clamp, because I push it out of the way, it doesn't hit at all.
Yeah, so we'll clearance that a little bit. It might need to be adjusted, but it's late. Eric's gonna gonna head out of here. Thanks again to Eric for helping me.
Oh yes.
It would be much more difficult in a longer road without his expertise. So
My awesome rubbing tire downpipe.
oh. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Alright.
So make sure you go follow Eric, RacingRamFam on YouTube and Instagram. Got F600 here. Got Venom, the turbo diaper truck.
Calling kids faster than you know.
Yeah, Viper truck. Alright guys, so it is a couple days later now. Getting some of the unnecessary lines pulled out of here is quite satisfying actually. So this one was actually a line that wrapped around the PCV valve to run coolant around it for something, keep it, to warm it up in the winter or something. So this is the vacuum line that went to the EGR valve. And this is part of the PCV system. So this one goes straight off the back of the intake back there. I got a large vacuum cap to cover that in the back, and we're gonna have to just cap some of these. So I did get a shipment in between last couple days ago and today from Amazon. So we got vacuum lines, we got hose clamp. Well, that's because I actually stripped out this hose clamp when I was tightening it up, so I got extras there. We got, you know, connectors for vacuum lines. We got check valves because we don't want to pressurize our vacuum system. Got a bunch of vacuum caps, and actually I'm going to be replacing this one. I was going to thread this one into the front of the turbo, but I wasn't sure of this thread type. It looks metric probably. So Eric actually has the, you can't see it here, it's the same thing as that, but with the quarter NPT threads. I went ahead and got one of those just so we had the right threads to tap into the front of the turbo housing. So Stay tuned for all of this. We're getting all this junk cleared out of here. So stay tuned for that in an upcoming video. It's all coming together. Just these bits and pieces inside the engine bay are gonna make a huge difference and bring us much, much closer to being done. You know, it's time to be done with this thing. Time to get it on the road. I know you guys are dying to see it on the dyno and running, as well as I am. Believe me, I'm also really excited to see it. So if you guys are interested, I do have hats for sale for the Auto Detour hats. Just doing the black and gray right now. I did order 24 of those hats, a limited run. The style will change after these ones run out. They're about halfway sold already, so if you guys are interested in those, be sure to send me a message on Instagram, or I'll put my Auto Detour email on the screen here. So that's about all I'm gonna get done tonight. I'm currently packing to head out to Washington to visit family. Gonna be filming some cool videos there, so stay tuned. Gonna be driving some pretty fun cars while we're out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys following this build. It means a lot to me. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I'll talk to you guys next time.